The oratory itself is an Episcopalian institution, but our ministry is totally ecumenical. You come, whoever you are and whatever you are. We do not care what church a person goes to or stays away from. We receive the person. And we have had people from all denominations and from none at all. And what we ask of them is not what they represent religiously, but whether or not they really want to grow spiritually. And if they do, we try to help them. Drop a pebble in a puddle, and the pebble being small doesn't make much of a splash, but the ripples go out to the very edge. You work with one person. You say, what's that? Well, a great many of the people who come here are people who work with other people, such as clergy and school teachers and people like that. And they themselves tell us that what they get here, they carry out with them in their work with their other with the people with whom they work, so that the ripples go out. And not even not only people like that, but everybody knows other people. And if you affect the life of anybody, you indirectly do affect the lives of the people with whom they're in contact.
We try to be able to see or hear why they're here. As I said, sometimes they come and they think they came for one reason. We've had people come to deliver a book that somebody had borrowed and leave 4 hours later, you know. I met a woman at a fair, and she came by about 6 months later, and I wasn't here, and she sat outside and waited till I got here, and she stayed 3 days because she had lots of things that came up to the surface. So she found a place where she could dare to say what she had on her mind. You know, it's a safe place to unload your garbage.
If a person wants a real silent retreat, which means that they talk to nobody, they can have it, and we will give them their meals in their room. They will join us for the Eucharist, but that's all. And the rest of the time they can be in complete silence and solitude. Other people want what you might call quiet recollection. They want to spend most of their time quietly, but they will eat with us and perhaps short conversations. Other people have things that they really want to talk over. And we put it this way, that a person can have as much silence and solitude as they want, but we are available to anybody who feels the need to talk over anything. We're here. We do go into the chapel and vest and with all the liturgical fixings on occasions such as Christmas and Easter and some of your major festivals. But normally, the daily Eucharist is sitting at the table. Apparently, the table Mass grows on people. People have liked it and wanted it, and now it's pretty much our norm. A nearby church, which is noted for conservatism, asked us to come and demonstrate a table Mass, which we did. And there was one elderly lady there who looked to be as conservative as they come, who was paying very strict attention to everything with a grim look. And I thought afterwards I was going to get it in the neck. She came up with tears in her eyes and said, "I've waited all my life to see it done this way. This is the way our Lord did it." And of course it is.
At the communion service, the Eucharist, we all sit around the table, and the Father sits at the end of the table, and he celebrates, and then the paten is passed around, and the cup is passed around, and everybody gets up and passes a piece, which gives everyone a hug, you know. And it's really quite lovely. It's not uncommon to have tears there, though. There's, one woman came and brought a friend of hers who hadn't been to church for quite a while, and all of a sudden realized that the church was a valid thing again, and so she started going back to church. And a girl brought her boyfriend, more mature than that, I guess, but he hadn't been to communion for 28 years and received communion first time. So a lot of wonderful things happen. The grounds are so beautiful. There's an areaway outside. You can see out the lit dining room area where there's 2 large chairs, and there's some flowers there. Anywhere you look, in any direction, it's green. And we have 4 acres. There's what we call the Pine Grove, and I call it the cathedral, because when you go in, it's like being in a cathedral. And the deer come down here often, and raccoons, and I've counted 24 different kinds of birds. In most houses, this would be a sitting room. In this house, it's also an office where we have a typewriter that others can use if they wish. It's a library where people can come to be quiet while they read if they wish, or come for counseling, or just come to enjoy other people's company. We have another room upstairs for counseling, or just to be alone if you wish. Upstairs, there's 2 very beautiful rooms that are sunlit. One is able to have 2 people. They all have 1 bed in them. One has a double bed, and another one has an extra long bed for tall people. And there's sort of a sitting room outside there at the head of the stairs. And then there's another room, and then there's what I would call a room for meditation or prayer or just for quiet. And it has a small refrigerator and little tiny hot plate so that you can get yourself something to eat if you want to in there, if you want to be alone.
We're a non-profit institution and tax exempt. We do not charge for anything, but we do exist entirely on free will offerings. The only income we have. And we hope people who come will leave an offering. If they ask for a suggestion, we suggest $35 a day, but it's only a suggestion. Some people can afford to give a great deal more and do. Some people can afford nothing, and that's what they give, and they're just as welcome as the others.
How they come, that's how they're received. And exactly where they are, that's how they're received. We don't expect them to be brilliant or stupid or religious or agnostic. It's however they are, that's how we're happy to receive them. When somebody leaves here, I would hope that they would be more whole, more complete, more able to see themselves as a God-loved person. Okay?
There are 3 relationships that I believe you can say are inescapable. Relationship to self, relationship to other people, neighbor, call them what you like, and a relationship to God. Call them what you like. If any one of those relationships is unhealthy, the other 2 are going to be unhealthy too. What we hope will happen here is that people will go away with all of those 3 relationships in a healthier state than they were when they came. We are very un-American in our disregard for statistics and numbers. We don't give a hoot. What we want to do is affect individual people. Granted, it's necessary to affect groups too, but somebody's got to take care of individuals.